y'all? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Halftime FC. I'm Isaiah. I'm your host. And this Premier League match week, this Premier League match week number 28 kicked off on Friday night with Aston Villa making the trip up north to Newcastle for a game against Newcastle United, obviously. But Alan St. Maximin, Callum Wilson, and Miguel Almiron were all out for Newcastle in this game, all of them sustaining injuries. Callum Wilson being their top goal scorer, Alisson Maximin being their number one creator for the Newcastle offense. They're definitely a better team when he's in the lineup and creating, and also when Callum Wilson is banging in goals. Miguel Almiron as well. He went down in the game against Wolves, which is the same game Alan Saint Maximin went down in. But yeah, a very depleted Newcastle facing a Aston Villa side without their main man Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish, if you've been watching the show, is a player that I rate very highly. I think that he's a very valuable piece to the Aston Villa offense, and he'd be a valuable piece to pretty much anyone's offense in the Premier League. Because it seems like, and I said this before, it seems like when Jack Grealish has the ball, he's either going to make a good pass or he's going to get fouled and win a free kick. And set pieces are so valuable when you're able to get them. But the injuries got worse for Aston Villa when Traore wasn't able to stop his momentum after being pushed by Paul Dummett, the Newcastle defender. He was able to clear the advertising boards on the side of the pitch, but after he jumped over, he was unable to stop himself from propelling forward and went ribs first right into the covered seats at St. James's Park. So Traore unfortunately did have to leave this game, and on came Anwar Ghazi for him, which makes the Aston Villa situation way worse because they already have a depleted team. But moving on. Chances were few and far between in this game. There was a chance for a break that Newcastle got on the 43rd minute, but Joe Linton was unable to make the right pass into what I thought was the right pass into Frazier. We all know Frazier has incredible speed, incredible pace, and probably would have been able to get through on goal. But Joe Linton not making the right decision. We went into the half 0-0. When we came back out in the half, chances were still a little bit few and far between, and it really didn't heat up until the last 5 minutes when Ollie Watkins was able to put away an incredible goal. Matt Target found Ollie Watkins on a cross from the left side of the pitch, and Ollie Watkins Ollie Watkins able to steer the ball on target, but the Newcastle defender Kieran Clark, his knee got in the way. Obviously, he's trying to block the shot, and it takes a wicked deflection off his knee and ends up right in the back of goal. So it was a really unfortunate goal for Newcastle to concede, and a good goal for Aston Villa at the time because they are trying to chase a European spot along with a lot of other teams who are in and around each other right now in the league. But Joe Linton was able to redeem himself from his mistake in the 43rd minute when he could have played Frazier on. And, he ended up scoring the tying goal for Newcastle, and they were able to rescue a point from the game, which is big because Newcastle and Fulham are the two. Newcastle, Fulham, and Brighton are the three teams in the relegation battle, and they only sit 2 points above Fulham with 28 points. Luckily for Newcastle, Fulham didn't pick up points from their game against Manchester City. But yeah, that's it from this game, and let's continue. Chelsea and Leeds United faced off at Ellen Road for a lunchtime kickoff in the West Yorkshire area of England, and Kai Havertz made his second consecutive start as the number 9 for Thomas Tuchel, and the Chelsea coach, and I'm starting to kind of like Kai Havertz in that number 9 role. I think he has a good size. He's pretty tall. Not really, not very like stout in terms of the width of his body, but I think that he can cause problems for defense in inside the area. This is coming off his really good performance against Everton in his last game midweek. But in this game, Kai Havertz wasn't able to put away chances. Actually, no Chelsea players were able to put away chances or Leeds players because this game ended up 0-0, which it wasn't a boring game at all. When you play Leeds, you're definitely going to have opportunities, but nobody really able to capitalize on those opportunities and the chances that were created. In the first half, Leeds almost scored a goal for Chelsea when Diego Llorente tries to clear the ball out of his penalty area, and the ball takes a deflection off of his own teammate and ricochets off the bar back to Millier, the then the Leeds goalkeeper. Just so fortunately, it hit the top of the crossbar and came right back into play, and Millier was able to recover the ball. After that, Leeds almost scored a goal for themselves. Tyler Roberts was able to get a really good chip over the Chelsea defense in the first half, and he forced Mendy into a diving save in the 16th minute, excuse me, in which Mendy was able to get a fingertip on the ball and change the direction of the shot. The shot hit the top crossbar and came back into play. So just two fortunate situations for Leeds and for Chelsea. But the first half finished 0-0. Obviously, the game ended 0-0. And in the 48th minute after the half, Kai Havertz had a great chance from the right side. Uh, came running in one on one with, excuse me, not one on one with the keeper, but the defender was out of the picture almost, but still kind of trailing him. And instead of going for the far post, which was wide open, which you see a lot of players do, most players go far post to try to, keep the ball away from the keeper. But Kai Havertz goes straight down the middle, right to Emilier, and it was, pretty easy save. I don't know why he did that. Maybe he needs, a little bit more time to really get, his his mind right because before the start against Everton, Kai Havertz was, his appearances were just here there, they weren't really it wasn't really a consistent flow of games for Kai Havertz. So maybe he just needs more of that time. But I do like him playing that number 9. I think it suits him. But in terms of clear cut chances to score, Rodrigo, who was subbed into the game for Patrick Bamford. Unfortunately, Patrick Bamford did suffer an injury in this game, and it was sad. It was kind of sad for him. Well, not really sad because he walked off, but the fact that he used to be at Chelsea. I think he was at Chelsea for 5 years, and he's been on goal scoring form this season. He's one of the top goal scorers in the league this year, and you always want to play against your old team, and prove to them like you should never got rid of me. You know, yeah, it's like an ex girlfriend or something like that. But yeah, Rodrigo made good contact, great contact on a free header. No Chelsea player marking him, and unfortunately, it was like a lot of the shots in this game. It was aimed right to the keeper, and Mendy was able to catch the attempt, and yeah, Callum Hudson-Odoi had a chance late in the game to try to get the win for Chelsea, but you know it's the same trend that's haunting this game. The shot went right to the keeper, so you know this game ended 0-0, which was a total surprise. If you bet 0-0 on this game, um, enjoy your money because you probably won a lot of it. But yeah, moving on. Burnley were able to come out on top in their matchup against Everton at Goodison Park. A 2-1 win for Burnley. See them just push themselves a little bit farther from the relegation battle. Of course, they're not completely out of it, but a very good win today. Chris Wood opened up the scoring in the 13th minute after a ball was played through by McNeil on the left side. Michael Keane was able to get a foot to it, but he wasn't able to clear it, and accidentally flicked it onto Chris Wood, running into the 18-yard box from the center of the pitch. Chris Wood was able to come onto the ball with ease and able to put the goal away, put it past Pickford to the right side, and that's how the game started in the 13th minute. After Everton had two chances to score, Richarlison actually having a shot on goal, and Richarlison playing Dominic Calvert-Lewin in, but unfortunately, the pass was a little bit too hard, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin wasn't able to get to it. But but yeah, Dwight McNeil ended up scoring a banger. Excuse me. Hold on, give me a second. Yeah, Dwight McNeil was able to score a banger in the 24th minute. Excuse me, I had to just look up the time of the goal, but yeah, he was that goal was crazy. It probably would have been goal of the weekend if Lamela didn't score his brilliant goal against Arsenal. But nonetheless, McNeil was able to he received the ball. Allen tried to press up on him. McNeil was able to cut the ball onto his right, then get back onto his left, and just sent a curling shot from outside the 18-yard box, just outside the 18-yard box, not too much far outside the 18-yard box. And the ball had a lot of arch and it curled beautifully on the left side and just banged right into the goal after deflecting off of the inside of the crossbar. Pickford went diving. Wasn't able to save it, nowhere near it. And like I said, if that isn't the goal of the weekend, then that's definitely the second best goal of the weekend. Eric Lamela just that goal was crazy, man. but yeah, let's go on. Everton really could have been down 3-0 in this game after Gunmanson, the number 7 for Burnley, put in a really good shot with his left foot that hit off the bar. Unfortunately for Everton, Pickford did try to go for the dive to save the ball, but after hitting the ground, he came up and he wasn't really too right. He went back down the ground, had to get some medical attention, and unfortunately he had to leave the game. Virginia, the Portuguese goalkeeper, was his replacement. I never really seen Virginia play or anything, but yeah, that's bad for England too because I think he's the number one choice for the goalkeeper position for this year's Euros. Hopefully the injury isn't too bad and he'll be able to return. I know Pickford is a really tough guy. He'll probably be back, but let's see what's going on. Um, Dominic Calvert-Lewin was able to get a goal back for Everton with a header, a really good header. Had a lot of power on it. This was in the 32nd minute, so we went into the half 3-1. Unfortunately, that would be the last goal of the game. Dominic Calvert-Lewin would have a flurry of chances, about 3 or 4 chances within the first 25 minutes of the first half that you know he was in through on the final third, but it was either a bad touch let him down, or the pass was a little too far away from him, or just wasn't able to really get the shot off because of the Burnley goalkeeper, Aaron Ramsdale. Excuse me. Whoa, I'm bugging out. Not Aaron Ramsdale. Not Aaron Ramsdale. Aaron Ramsdale plays for Sheffield United. But yeah, this game was a bad loss for Everton. Everton, they continued their very poor home form, and their push for Europe with 9 games left or 8 games left. It's kind of dwindling off, and they need to start kicking on. Of course, they weren't where they were without James Rodriguez, who's been really good for them this year, and Abdoulaye Decore, who may be out for the rest of the season, or if he does come back, it'll be for the final day, which could be big because we don't know what all this is boiling to in that final day. May be the last chance that Everton will really have to sneak into a European spot. But yeah, let's move on. Fulham. were able to start brightly against Manchester City, but unfortunately for them, it all fell apart in the first 20 to 25 minutes in the second half when they gave up goals to John Stones in the 47th minute, Gabriel Jesus in the 56th minute, and Sergio Aguero in the 60th minute off of a penalty. Yeah, just you know, just bad mistakes by by Fulham. Well, I wouldn't really say mistakes. I'll say more so experience. Fulham went into the half 0-0 with Manchester City, and it was a 0-0 that they did deserve. They did play good football against City in the first half. They were good enough defensively to get through to the half 0-0, and they were able to hold on to the ball for a little bit, and have some possession, not a lot, but some spells of possession. And they did look a threat, but I believe that coming out the half, maybe they were a little bit too naive. And Manchester City are very experienced and well drilled, and they're one of those teams that really put games away. Like some teams you see them hold on to a 1-0 lead, a 2-0 lead, like you see them do that, but City are really a team that are trained to put games away. One goal, two goal, third one, game's over. And this game did fizzle out after the Sergio Aguero penalty. Um, and yeah, so the story for Manchester City is that they're just steamrolling to the champions. Excuse me, they're steamrolling to the Premier League title, and Fulham are still in that relegation spot, only 2 points behind Newcastle though. So it's not too bad. They're unfortunate that Newcastle were able to get the draw. Otherwise, they'd be 1 point, but 1 point behind Newcastle. But they're definitely still in the hunt for survival in the Premier League. But they do have a lot of tough games coming up with some games against a couple of teams from the Big Six. But all in all, not really the most entertaining game to watch. And yeah, let's move on. Brighton were finally able to close the deal in a game versus Southampton in the Premier League on Sunday. This was Brighton's first ever win at Southampton, a game in which they won 2-1. Um, Lewis Dunk opened up the scoring in the 16th minute when he was able to head the ball down into the ground. The ball taking a good bounce off the pitch and nestling right into the right corner of goal. Forster wasn't able to get there in time. Forster being the Southampton goalkeeper, wasn't able to get there on time. And yeah, good goal for Lewis Dunk. Brighton definitely needed a good start in this game, and they got it. But Che Adams was able to hit back on Brighton after he was inadvertently flicked on by the goal scorer Lewis Dunk, who was trying to clear a cross, but didn't get enough, wasn't in the right position really defensively to really get under the ball and clear it, and inadvertently played on Che Adams, who was sitting there poaching right behind him, and Che Adams able to make good contact on the ball in the 27th minute and hit a sweet volley into the back of the net. After Pascal Gross missed a very clear chance on goal late in the first half, Leandro Trossard was able to make up for it. He was played on by Danny Welbeck, who received the pass from Adam Lallana in the midfield. Adam Lallana has been very good for Brighton lately. Just being that creator. He seems to be the focal point of the offense when Brighton do put together attacks, and Brighton do put together a lot of attacks. But yeah, Danny Welbeck played on Trossard, and Trossard going for power in the 56th minute was able to beat Forster in a one-on-one situation. Brighton could have dropped this game in the 61st minute when they gave up a free kick that James Ward-Prowse took right outside the 18-yard box. James Ward-Prowse has been one of the better free kick takers in the Premier League this year. Also on corners, the guy just kind of seems to be able to place the ball wherever he wants to on the pitch. But this time the ball was deflected and it went out. This was probably Southampton's best chance to score in the game, best chance to equalize the game. No other clear opportunities really came about. And yeah, Brighton were able to hold on for the win, and it's a big win for them. Doesn't do much for them in terms of separating themselves from the chasing pack in terms of Fulham and Newcastle. but a good win for Brighton that keeps them afloat with points and keeps them uh, going forward positively in terms of surviving and not getting relegated. I don't think that Brighton deserves to get relegated. I've said this many times on the on my channel. I do rate Graham Potter. I think he's one of the better English managers in the Premier League, and I think Brighton plays some good stuff, and I'd like to see them in the Premier League next year. Between Fulham, Brighton, and Newcastle, it's tough because they all kind of have things about them that I like. Of course, I like watching Alistair Maximin and Callum Wilson and Miguel Almiron for Newcastle, but they're all out right now. So, the relegation fight is definitely on. Leicester City were able to put 5 goals past Sheffield United in a game at the King Power Stadium. Sheffield United, of course, sitting in the bottom of the Premier League. And Kelechi Iheanacho, man, the guy's just on form. He was able to put away a hat trick. He really did haunt Sheffield United today, and he's on a crazy run of form. Kelechi Iheanacho, he has 5 goals in his last 3 games. That's 5 goals in his last 3 games. That is, that's insane. That's not 3 goals in his last 5. But Ayoze Perez also got in on the goal scoring action in the 64th minute, and Ethan Ampadu in the 80th minute scored an own goal. He hasn't really been having a very good a good 2 weeks. Remember, he did give away a penalty versus Southampton as well. James Vardy still continues to struggle to find the back of the net. He didn't score in this game, but he did have a great assist to Kelechi Iheanacho. That's kind of what I like about James Vardy. He doesn't really seem egocentric, or strikers naturally have to be selfish, but Jamie Vardy, he doesn't mind doing the other things when he's not on. But Jamie Vardy hasn't scored since February 13th against Liverpool in the Premier League, so definitely looking for him to get back on form sometime soon, because we all know James Vardy is a serial goal scorer, one of the quickest guys in the league. He can get behind the defense very fast and finish a goal. So I'm definitely looking for him to kick back on. But the Sheffield United will more than likely be relegated out of Premier League. They sit too far at the bottom, had a terrible start to the season. But the story for them today was really their manager, Chris Wilder, who mutually agreed with the club to part ways before Sunday. And Chris Wilder's been with them for a while. I believe he's been with them since 2016. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I heard a very interesting quote today. Not today, but I heard a very interesting quote when I was watching the game, and it goes as such. Um, this kind of encapsulates Chris Wilder's relationship with Sheffield United and how far he's been with them. Uh, Chris Wilder's first away win was against Oldham Athletic, and his last away win was against Manchester United. So, if you know football, let that sink in. So, yeah, that's kind of crazy. I really did like Chris Wilder, and they wouldn't have gotten beat 5-0 if Chris Wilder was at the helm um, against Leicester. But yeah, let's move on. A big game at Old Trafford with top four implications, as West Ham made the trip up from London to Manchester to square off against Manchester United. United looking to cement their place in the top four, and West Ham looking to stake their claim for European football next season. Jesse Lingard wasn't able to play in this game due to the fact that he is on loan from Manchester United. But West Ham did come out very defensively and did look to stifle United's defense, kind of the same way Crystal Palace were able to when United and Crystal Palace drew 0-0 at Selhurst Park. But United did have two clear-cut chances to score, with Marcus Rashford missing a header, not getting really good contact on the ball, and Mason Greenwood with his left foot hitting the outside of the post. And the ball was eventually put into goal for United, but unfortunately for West Ham, it was by their own. Craig Dawson, the West Ham center back, in the 53rd minute, put the ball into the back of the goal off of a Bruno Fernandes corner. When I initially saw the goal, I thought Scott McTominay scored the goal because he was running off and about to doing his little celebration thing, and but it was a little bit reserved. And then once you watch the replay, you could see that it it truly is Craig Dawson that puts the ball in the back of the goal. It's almost like he was playing for United. So a bad own goal by a player who's having a really good season. So a lot of the West Ham players are having really good seasons. West Ham have been excellent this season, but definitely a mental mistake right there with Craig Dawson. But it could happen to anybody. Don't feel bad, Craig. Even though it did go in, and it was with the run of play, United played a little bit better against a team that was looking to pack up the box and stagnate the United offense. It was a little bit better than what we saw a lot better than what we saw at Selhurst Park. But yeah, West Ham were then able to put pressure on Manchester United. A fleet of attacks uh, from did come through the Manchester United box from West Ham, and Harry Maguire probably played one of his best games for United. Just blocking shots, being in the right position to block corners, stopping opportunities, and just doing all the dirty work that is required to see out a 1-0 win. Harry Maguire was the captain today. One of his better games as of late. But a good win for Manchester United, which puts them back in second, behind their city rivals, Manchester City. And for West Ham, they're still in the Europa League spot, just 3 points off Chelsea for the Champions League spot. But Liverpool winning today with a goal by Diogo Jota against Wolves in the 47th minute. Liverpool are still in the race and they're right behind West Ham. So we have a proper scrap for top four. And the question for West Ham is, you know, can they really do this? Can they really pull off European football? It would be incredible to see West Ham in the Europa League or the Champions League, more so the Champions League. But can they are they really contenders for that fifth or fourth spot? Because if Liverpool could find their footing, they just got Jota back. Jota looks like just a fresh vibe. That Liverpool definitely need. He's coming back at the right time. So it'll be interesting to see if West Ham could really pull this off. I would like. I'm not saying I'm going for West Ham, but the underdog. But Liverpool are underdogs this year too. But West Ham are like they're traditionally underdogs.